and book his place in the second round. But to do so, he's got to overcome a seasoned campaigner in Michael Rosenauer, Rosie, as he's known, and what's likely to be quite a partisan crowd. Dan Dawson in the commentary box for your final game of the evening session, alongside me, Rob Malarkey.
Yeah, Jamie Lewis has caught the eye on occasion in Europe this year. Let's not forget his World Cup teammate Mark Webster is through to round two, so let's not do Wales or Webby a disservice, by the way. Let's just get that out in the open first of all. So it will be nice for Lewis if he can join his World Cup teammates in the second round tomorrow. The less said about their World Cup campaign, the better, by the way.
Yeah.
Hong Kong and all that. Not quite akin to England losing to the USA in 1950, but you get the idea. Anyway, Jamie Lewis, good European record in patches. Runner-up in Gibraltar in 2013. Reached the semis in Gib earlier this year as well. And here and there has been showing good signs of form, both in Europe and at home as well. But up against him tonight, Michael Rosenauer, a man with plenty of credentials. We'll talk about those in a moment or two. Lewis getting us underway.
95.
Yeah, Jamie Lewis with a particularly long dart. It's like a scaffolding pole he's flinging at the ball.
81.
Does mean if he gets the first couple in the right place, it's just a huge target to aim for. Of course, there is the opposite, where he gets it in the wrong place and he can easily follow them.
Yeah, Jihanatu flying the flag for Germany tomorrow. Will Rosenauer be joining him? He's lost a flight there, but the points are on the board.
Yeah, stunning win for Jihanatu against Stephen Bunting. Doesn't get any easier for him. He's got to take on another Premier League star in Kim Huybrechts.
57.
Albeit a relegated one.
Well, yes, granted.
Still, 13th seed up against it tomorrow, Jihan. But I thought he deserved a victory of sorts
36.
Somewhere along the line here this season. I know he's had a couple of wins before on the European circuit, but he was long overdue a win, I thought.
Well, he's a very, very tricky customer, Jihanatu, when he's on form.
25.
Difficult man to beat. Decent leg so far from Jamie Lewis. It's decent enough, although here comes Michael Rosenauer. Here comes Michael Rosenauer.
Jamie require 144.
Well, Lewis will be favourite here, but do not be surprised at all if Rosenauer causes him one or two problems. He is,
96. Michael, you require 104.
according to many observers, the best soft tip player that Germany has ever produced. One of the best in the world, in fact, on the electronic board. The stats back it up as well
48.
in terms of what he's achieved on the soft
Jamie
tip
require 48.
varietal.
That was 16. Last start.
Game
First
shot
leg on the board,
first
Jamie
leg.
Lewis.
Jamie
Made to
Lewis,
sweat
second leg,
for it, though.
throw first. Game on.
Made to sweat more than he already is. It's still a very, very warm evening, both inside and outside the arena, inside especially.
140.
Yeah, see?
And that just endorses what I've just been saying. Thanks, guys. Bang on cue.
$60. $41.
I think it was this tournament last year, so 12 months ago, where Michael Rosenauer just decided, after not playing darts for quite a while, yeah, I'll come back and give it a go. That's Jamie Lewis.
140.
Fires in a 1040. Just sort of emerged from the wilderness, smashed his way through qualifying. And lots of bewildered German dart players wondering where he'd come from and why he decided to do so at that particular moment and then get drawn against them.
Well, Rosenauer eventually lost 6-2 to Chizzy in the second round of this event last year. Beat Mensur in the first round 6-5 as well. So, you know, just to put that in a bit of perspective.
And here he comes.
140.
I've got one other Rosenauer stat up my sleeve. Can you guess what it's about? Or what it concerns?
It's about his hair.
No, it's about a very... talk about Brendan Dolan being a history maker. I think Rosenauer can claim to be a history maker as well.
Well,
I've been doing my homework, you know.
I can't wait for this. I love a stat.
Right. It's all about the sizzle and not the sausage at the moment, so I'll leave you hanging on.
83.
83.
No sizzle there, but it sets it up nicely for Rosenauer. 56 to level things up. Lewis not on a finish yet.
57. Michael, you require
16 for
56.
tops. There's the 16.
To get the crowd on side.
36.
It's on hold.
Jamie
Maybe
require
Rosenauer is giving us a bit of
127.
sizzle and no sausage just yet.
Wow.
Or Wurst in this case.
Treble 19 for Jamie Lewis. Not going to happen. Rosenauer return.
59.
Double 10 he wants.
Michael, you require 20.
To level things up at 1 apiece here at the Maritime Hotel in Düsseldorf.
Game
That
shot.
will do.
Yeah,
1-1.
Michael Rosenauer.
Just beginning to
Jamie to throw
look a
first.
little bit nervy and edgy on those doubles. But it is 1 apiece. Just the one whitewash then today. And it was a very unlikely one. Wes Newton
44.
winning his match 6-0. I think that was the final match of the afternoon session, beating Gerwin Price.
Yeah, man who's...
You wouldn't have had that down as a whitewash. If I'd said to you first thing today, write down 1 whitewash today, who's it going to be? You would not have said that one.
Don't get me wrong, Wes Newton's a 2-time major finalist, but Gerwin Price has been playing some very, very good stuff for a little while now. He's forced his way into the match play. He'll be making his debut at Blackpool next week.
57.
Wes Newton will not be there. Particularly disappointing for Wes, of course, because it's his local major, if you like. Ian from Fleetwood.
100.
Just give me the nod when you want the Rosie stat, by the way.
Yeah, you've made me wait long enough. I can't.
Well,
Tell
with
me.
with it 3:56.400, I think now is a good time, actually.
59.
Yeah, 59 from Lewis. Rosenauer, the first man to qualify for both the PDC and BDO. I say qualified, and BDO World Championships in the same year.
43.
Won through the qualifiers for the Lakeside and then qualified by right for the PDC Worlds through the German Darts Corporation Order of Merit. Went down the PDC route, though, and then came close to causing a major upset against Mervyn King. Didn't quite come off. Went all the way to a tie-break, but King came through.
What year was that?
Don't know. Does it matter? I mean, what more do you want?
Can't it?
Must have
Half
been-
a job
must have been-
malarkey.
must have been in the last
teased me.
6 years or so.
You've teased me.
Done everything there, Dan, apart from give you one minor detail. Doesn't really matter when it was, surely. He was the first.
140.
Well, the only thing that matters right now is that it's 1 apiece between Jamie Lewis and Michael Rosenauer.
94.
Yeah, it's that sort of leg where we've had a good long chat and it's still 15 darts and only one player's on a finish.
But there's not much between them. Need the treble. Doesn't
59.
get it.
Michael
Doesn't get
require
it.
160.
2008.
I said in the last 6 years, so I was wrong.
60. Jamie, you require 114.
114 for Jamie Lewis for 2-1. This is only a hold of throw, though. 14 he wants for double top.
Game
Gets
shot,
it.
the third leg.
Well,
Jamie
a
Lewis,
standout
fourth leg,
visit
Michael to throw
in that leg of
first.
darts. Look at
Game
Ainge
on.
to get down to a finish and then takes out a ton plus.
I've heard a rumour that you bumped into Neil Armstrong once at a pub and he told you that he was the first man on the moon and you said, what year was that?
100.
And he said, it doesn't matter, I was the first man on the moon. Not quite the same
I
comparison.
want the... I'm not a man who enjoys half a story.
2-1 here on throw, effectively. Rosenauer looking to
55.
level things up, hold his throw. Chance here for Lewis to press on, though, with 55 for Rosenauer there.
This is, of course,
140.
for the final spot in the second round, the last 32 of the European Darts Open. The winner of this has the unenviable task of taking on the world #1 Michael van Gerwen, a man who until the last European Tour event was unbeaten. He had a perfect record on the European Tour.
Not a problem for Jamie Lewis, that, by the way. Shall I tell you why?
Yes, please do.
Jamie Lewis's big priority, big concern this weekend was avoiding Terry Jenkins. He lost 6-4 to the ball in the second round in both Riesa and in Munich. So he's not bothered about facing Van Gerwen. He just wanted to avoid Jenkins, and he's done that. Anything else is a bonus.
Anything else is a bonus. Well, he wouldn't meet Terry Jenkins until the semi-finals either.
He'd take that right now.
Theoretically speaking.
Should they keep on winning. Terry's here, by the way. He's arrived, even though he's not in action until tomorrow. He was in the practice room earlier. He was being asked and tested for official photographs from the PDC.
114 went in the last leg. The 108 is not going.
56.
Will the 111?
Michael, you require 111.
For a hold of throw. Big moment in this match.
Yeah, needs it as well, with Lewis ready to pounce on 52.
Oh, he's missed a big number. He needed the 14, and he's hit the 11. And Michael Rosenauer, that is a rookie mistake from a veteran. But it's 16. Oh, that's awkward. The way his darts kick up, and we mentioned before, it's a big dart.
Oh.
And I think that has played a part in him not finding his way to the little green bit there. Michael Rosenauer, sigh of relief, but he's got to close this out. And he does.
Nice.
Rather emphatically.
Fifth leg, Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Sorry, that tut there was because the internet's gone down again.
100.
Nothing to do with Lewis's first visit to the board.
No, level ton. Probably take that in this game. Neither of these guys have really lit the blue touch paper as yet. Rosenauer hit a 180 in the first leg, still lost it. Jamie Lewis hit that 114 checkout in the third leg. We've had 4 consecutive holds of throw. Keeps on going like that. Then Jamie Lewis finds himself in the next round because he has the advantage of throwing first.
Well, the average is nothing to write home about at the moment. Pretty even Steven, 76, 77 or so.
41.
There's another dip in the average for Lewis as well. Not quite the crescendo to the evening perhaps we were hoping for, but maybe Rosenauer can raise the roof with a second German victory of the night. It's still a possibility, 2 apiece.
100.
Yeah, well, at the moment, they are both playing like a couple of guys who are on last at 11 o'clock at night. In a boiling hot room.
95.
Can one of them step it up?
64.
Jamie Lewis. That'll do for him.
Mentioned that potential meeting with Van Gerwen. Well, Van Gerwen lying in wait for the winner here, assuming Lewis does get through, and it's a big assumption at the moment. Worth noting that, or worth mentioning that Lewis beat Van Gerwen last year in the semi-finals of a UK Open qualifying.
Requires 64.
Then lost to Sulovic in the 5th round of the UK Open itself a month later.
48.
Well, there's a chance here for Rosie.
An outside chance, but a chance nevertheless, you're right.
Needs the treble 20. And that first start was absolutely no guide for him.
65.
Probably played a part in him not finding the treble bed. So Jamie Lewis, 3 clear darts at double 8 now. Work his way in from there. Getting closer.
8 score. Michael, you require 65.
Well, he doesn't want to hit the bullseye here.
Well,
he would have liked the 25, mind, but he still gets a dart at tops.
25.
Missed opportunity, would have been the first break of the match. Jamie Lewis now, double 4.
Well, Rosenauer has simply got to take chances like that when they come along.
Game show,
Because Lewis has duly finished it off there, and we continue to go with throw here. Lewis back in front 3-2. Approaching the halfway stage of this final match of the day. Opening day of the European Darts Open here in Düsseldorf.
Well, that is an absolute horror show in terms of the averages. Take my word, I don't want to look at them.
They should have put a warning at first for those.
We are past the watershed, so
low
it's
averages.
It's
yeah.
okay.
Look away now.
He did storm through qualifying, albeit a few weeks ago, Jamie Lewis. He beat Jeff Batham and Steve Douglas, only dropped 5 legs in the process, and he did qualify for Risa as well. You mentioned he lost in the second round to Terry Jenkins. Michael Rosenauer had to play 3 games in his qualifying campaign last night. That was done here at the Maritime Hotel. He saw off...
80.
Sorry.
Just the 80 point, not touching the board. Yeah. Saw off a couple of guys. Daniel Zugler, who we have seen on the European Tour a number of times, the Flame, beat him 6-4. Beat Martin Schindler 6-3. And Martin's he's only a young lad. Young German guy, obviously. His host nation qualifies as Jamie Lewis looks to fill this up and has to settle for a ton 40. Martin Schindler also works for PDC Europe, so if he doesn't make it through the qualifiers, he then has to go and work on the door.
Is that who it is? I didn't realise. I've made the connection now. I know who you mean. Right.
He only looks about 12. I mean, beating little Martin Schindler, it must feel like kicking a puppy in the face.
59.
Well, I'll take your word for that, Dan.
I assume, again, I'm having to say this a number of times this evening, troublingly. Jamie Lewis down to a finish, though, on the Rosenauer throw.
57.
57 gets Rosenauer down to Shanghai.
160.
Well, Lewis, he took out 114. 160 is a different matter entirely. But he's looking at the 20s. It's on.
It's on. It's nice as well. It's a good light.
A little bit unfortunate. It was just a little bit low in the treble bed for him. But
100.
well, a ton. We'll get him 2 darts at double top if he returns. Rosenauer, 120. Can he take it out? He could. He could. And he has. Michael Rosenauer. Well. It's another leg where it's been pretty pedestrian stuff until the end. And then the ton plus finish is fired in. We're 3 apiece here. Could be another game going all the way.
Thought that would have got the crowd going more than it did, if you know what I mean.
I think now, suffering from fatigue and heat and lager.
But he's just pulled off a 120 Shanghai checkout on the 20s, and it
41.
didn't really get the reaction I was hoping for. I think he was wanting a bigger reaction as well, just to get the crowd on side, but not to be.
And he might well have just been scared into silence by Dirk van Dijvenbode's antics on stage just a short while ago. Like watching Donkey Kong stomp around. Thought he was going to chuck a barrel at someone.
121.
Well, it's been a lengthy evening session. 3 matches going the distance. Mensur Suljovic in a cracker against Mike De Decker. John Henderson in that war of attrition with Andrew Gilding. Devin Peterson beating Nathan Aspinall by the odd leg in 11 as well. Wins also tonight for Alan Norris, for Joe Cullen, for Jihan Artut, and for that man Dirk van Dijvenbode. Will it be Lewis or Rosenauer? Well, we'll find out in the next, 10 minutes or so? Maybe longer.
75 scored, so looks at the 18s, and he set that up wonderfully. This is by some distance strongest leg in the match. Got to finish it off though. Double 8.
It's an awkward lie, that as well.
12 score.
Well, hope here for Rosenauer.
Michael, you require 139.
A glimmer of.
Tough shot, this.
Well,
too tough.
19.
Right, set up tops. Lewis can't afford to mess around here.
It's awkward with his darts. They do kick up a long way and they are massive. Oh, can he find a way through? All right, it's always going to be difficult. It's always going to be very, very difficult. And Michael Rosenauer now double top for the first break of the match to put himself in the driving seat in this one. And he gets it. Michael Rosenauer goes into the lead for the first time.
Wow, he was well adrift there. Lewis, I think, with 6 missed darts or missed doubles there.
Yep, he left himself 16 after 12 darts. Couldn't get the job done. And there you see, Jamie Lewis, 3 out of 17 on his doubles. You're going to have to score excellently to win games with that sort of finish in, but that's not a bad start.
Yeah,
First maximum for Lewis.
If you want to win back the throw, that's the perfect time to do it.
See, he has outscored Rosenauer, but the overall average is pretty much 45. The same as his opponent. It's those missed doubles that have cost him. Rosenauer's finishing's actually been all right. It's just taken him, well, a few eons to get to a double.
60.
Well, there's a lesson in not giving up lost causes as well for Rosenauer. He was well adrift in that 7th leg, but even though Lewis was left with just 16 after 12 darts, 6 missed doubles later, and Rosenauer stole it.
Oh, he stormed back into this one here, though. Look at this! 2 maximums in the leg from Jamie Lewis, and maybe just getting broken there has woken him up and kicked him into life.
96.
On his run to the final in Gibraltar a couple of years ago, he did show that he's got the bottle, Jamie Lewis, to deliver when it really counts. He doesn't need to go for the 12 and bullseye route here, so I think it will be treble 10. And there it is. Oh, wonderful. 12 darter out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Jamie Lewis breaks back. 2 maximums, 12 darter. Very, very nicely done, Jamie Lewis. Now, can he kick on? Can he push on from there? Well, he's fired 2 into the treble 5 to start with.
50.
6 legs without a break, and then we have 2 on the spin, 4 apiece. Best of 3 match effectively now for a place in the second round. And a meeting against the world #1 Michael van Gerwen tomorrow. That match will be in the
60.
evening session, the 4th match of tomorrow night's activity.
Yeah, we do have a schedule for you. We'll run you through it in a moment. We'll just see if this will be a 140 for Jamie Lewis. Yes, it is.
40.
That evening session tomorrow night, by the way. As tasty as it
Tell us
comes.
more, Mr. Malarkey.
Well, Van Gerwen against either Lewis or Rosenauer. 4th match of the evening session. The evening session starts with Michael Smith, Riesa champion, against Mensur Suljovic. James Wade, #2 seed, against Van Dijvenbode. Also tomorrow night, Chizzy Whitlock, 2-time finalist here, and Peter Wright, the defending champion, rounds things off against Devon Peterson. And tomorrow afternoon as well, 8 crackers to look forward to. The action starts at 1 o'clock local time. First match of the day, Justin Pipe against Kevin McDine, the first winner of the day today as well. Terry Jenkins, European Tour finalist this year. He's in action against John Henderson. That'll be a decent one. Benito van der Pas, finalist in Riesa as well, is on the hockey. And so too Mervyn King, Rob Thornton and Ian White, semi-finalist in Riesa, looking to go one better maybe, who knows, here in Düsseldorf.
Well,
have I whet the appetite enough there?
You certainly have. You certainly have. And I have to say, after his performance, well, a couple of guys, after their performances today, I cannot wait to see more of. I think that the Jelle Klaassen taking on Dave Chisnall could be an absolute stormer tomorrow evening.
Yeah, Klaassen, Chizzy, Suljovic, Smith. 2 that just leap off the page for a start off.
Ian White, Alan Norris could be a bit special as well.
Wright Peterson too.
Yeah, everywhere you look, there's some serious games here at the European Darts Open. Jamie Lewis has got 6 darts from here. Michael Rosenauer has had a couple of horrible visits. Made a real mess of things after being decently placed.
58.
A trudge to the board for the young Welshman. He fails to find the treble that he was after, but he should get 1 dart at tops when he returns, at least.
59.
Might get 2 at double 12.
Jamie requires
Rosenauer's on
78.
120, and he took that out in the 6th leg. only going to be one dart at tops. He's not moving, so he thinks there's room on the right-hand side, and he finds it. He finds it, Jamie Lewis. He is one leg away.
Yep, 5-4 up, having been 4-3 down, Lewis. Rosenauer could stop him in his tracks here, though. Settles for the 140.
Well, it's kind of got the same feel about it, this game, as the Henderson-Gilding match earlier on, where... Oh, here we go. Here we go. 140. Neither guy played anywhere near their potential. We went all the way to a deciding leg. Both men mismatched darts. Could come down to who holds their nerve, but if Jamie Lewis can break Rosenauer in this leg, and that's going to be very difficult when he's just kicked off ton 40, but if he could, it would save him the nerves of a deciding leg shootout. Looking likely, though, that Rosenauer's going to be first to a double in this leg.
And he is. Lewis needs to register something here, hasn't done it so far.
58. Michael, you require 164.
58's music to the ears of Michael Rosenauer. But still with a lot to do here, Rosenauer. Lewis needs to put the pressure back on if he can. Does so with a ton 40 there.
And all of a sudden he's back in this leg. 21 scored, leaves him 87, so he'll come down for the treble 17 for double 18. Gets the treble. Gets a double, 108 checkout from Michael Rosenauer, and his finishing has been pretty good all the way through this match. If he's given a chance by Jamie Lewis in this deciding leg, it could well be curtains for the Welshman.
Could well be. Here we go, another 6-5 for you, but which way will it go? Well, Lewis could have done with more than that. Now Rosenauer, a big score here just to put the pressure on. Oh, well. See it in Rosenauer's face and his body language, what he thinks about that. Lewis on 78 with 50. Rosenauer just inching ahead, but hasn't quite won over the darts bit.
Well, Jamie Lewis, on his run to the final in Gibraltar, he had a couple of 6-5 wins. Kevin Painter and Adrian Lewis, big name scouts, particularly within the context of it. Talking a couple of years ago, as Jamie Lewis is more of an emerging player as he is now. But he had a habit in those games. He hit maximums in the deciding legs of both of those. When it really counted, he produced. Can he do the same here? He has the advantage of throwing first. He's been let off by Michael Rosenauer in the first couple of visits here. And is this the moment when he kicks in? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, he's been let off, and he's been given a helping hand as well by Rosenauer. And Lewis is certainly making the most of it with a ton 40. He's got a significant cushion now. Rosenauer can't land a punch at the moment.
Still a great deal in it, those averages overall. He has outscored Rosenauer, despite not scoring particularly well, but he has outscored him. Just missed doubles. He may not be able to afford to miss many more in this leg. Rosenauer's not really applying the pressure, just the 60. So Jamie Lewis, at least 6 darts from here, potentially 9.
Oh, well, losing his way all of a sudden here, Lewis.
39, thank you.
He's still in this, Michael Rosenauer, if he can find a couple of trebles. Even a ton gets him to a finish, albeit a massive one. It's no use to him. 45, no use to him at all, Jamie Lewis. Oh, he's got 6 darts from here. At the very least, set it up. That's what he needs to be doing. 94. And he has done. He has done. So Jamie Lewis will return with 3 clear darts at double 12 for the match. What is Rosenauer going to be sat on? Well, he's going to get down to a finish of some sort, but it's not a great one. So Jamie Lewis, it's been scrappy, it's been messy, it's been downright ugly at times, but Jamie Lewis is looking at double 12 for the match. That's a decent marker. That's further away, but that finds the mark, and it doesn't produce much of a celebration from the Welshman, but he has got the job done. It's been a bit of a subdued end to the evening.